Welcome to another episode of I'm Gonna Rile You Up. Why you must be a vegetarian, not a vegan, to even think about the kingdom of heaven. Forget about going to the kingdom of heaven. And why a vegan? Vegans are just vegetarian. Well, number one is the Last Supper. That's the only thing that Jesus said, do this in remembrance of me. To all of you Christmas lovers, Jesus is the reason for the season. Hate to bust your bubble, but Jesus never said for you to do the Christmas thing. That's pagan. It's all paganism. Jesus was not even born in December. By all accounts, Jesus was not born in December. So, the Last Supper. Do you know that it's actually not called the Last Supper? That is part of the deception. The true title of that Last Supper is actually the Supper of the Hidden Knowledge. That's what the actual name of it is. But they changed it for, we don't know how to translate. No, they didn't want you to know that Jesus was imparting to you secret knowledge, because Jesus was speaking in code language. Because at the time of Jesus, okay, for all you church and state lovers, church and state was like this in Jesus' time. They were like, no. That's how close they were. Today, it's like this, separation of church and state. And you go, no, we got to be together. Okay, before you say that, let me tell you, when you have this, all you people in church that are accused of adultery, sleeping with your pastor's wife or your parishioner's wife, guess what? In this situation, you're guilty of adultery. What's the punishment for adultery? Stoning to death with stones. That's capital punishment. That's what the penalty is. Do you think there's no penalty for when you break religious laws? Go to Saudi Arabia. Go to Afghanistan. Go to all those countries which they still do this. They're together like this. When you break a religious law like thou shalt not commit adultery, there's penalties for it. There's penalties right here, right now. And by the way, Jehovah God never rescinded Jehovah's laws. All the ones in Exodus, Leviticus, Deuteronomy, those still stand today. The problem is none of you follow it. And all you Christians say, well, Paul said. Paul didn't go to a mountain and get some new tablets that said, everything I said in Exodus, it's garbage. You don't have to do it now. It's all good. We're good. You can do whatever you want. Sleep with your pastor's wife and your parishioner's wife and all that good stuff. No. They still stand. The problem is nobody's following them. So, going back to toot. So, because back then, if Jesus said, hey, listen, guys, all the stuff they're teaching you at the temple is garbage. It's garbage. He would have been killed instantly. And while he didn't care about being killed, because he actually went to the cross willingly and died, he said, take me out. I'm good to go. So, but he had something to accomplish while he was here. But he was ready to check out really early, because it's like, I'm sick of you people already. You guys are dumb as rocks. And even when I tell you, you guys are like, what? Who is my neighbor? What? Who is my neighbor? You got to tell me, because I don't know. Yeah, that's what they were doing. So Jesus said, well, like, get me out. But anyways, so he had to speak in code. So the Last Supper, which is not the Last Supper, it's the Supper of Hidden Knowledge. That's what it is. Because he imparted, and he said in code language, do this in remembrance of me. This is the only thing you do in remembrance of me. What was it? He told you to be a vegetarian. You go, what? Yeah, it was nothing about No, what he said is this. They were doing Passover, and Passover had to do with killing a lamb and eating the whole lamb. They had to eat the whole lamb. And they said, well, they didn't drink the blood. Well, they do, because it's impossible to suck the blood out of it. It's impossible. Not even the people in labs can pull the blood out of meat. It's still in there. So therefore, you're consuming blood and flesh when you're eating meat. So Jesus says, instead of eating meat, you will eat bread, because that's vegetarian. Meat is carnivorous. Bread is vegetarian. Instead of drinking blood, you will drink wine, which is vegetarian. Blood is carnivorous. Wine is vegetarian. I know, you guys are all, but I don't care. That's what Jesus said. If you want to do something else, go. Anyways, let's put it another way. All right. Why you must be a vegetarian to even think about the kingdom of heaven. All right, let's do it some other way where everyone can understand. Let's pretend, number one, we're not gay, but I'm the wife and you will be my future husband in the future sometime, at one time or another. I don't know what time. We didn't set the time yet, but you might be a prospect. I, as a wife, do not want my future husband to go to strip joints, titty bars, where naked ladies dance. Okay, they're not touching or nothing. They're just looking at him, right? But that's not what I want my future husband to be doing. So, therefore, my prerequisite is that you don't go, my husband doesn't go to titty bars. And you say, well, you being the prospect of the future husband for me, you would say, well, I like to go to titty bars, but what's the big deal? We're not married. When I get married, I'll change and I won't go. Well, guess what? Guess what? Guess what? Guess what? I am not going to allow that, because if you can't walk the walk right now, what guarantees me that when we get married, when you come into my house or I come into your house, whichever works, I got a big house, okay? So you're going to have to come into my house. That's the way it works at my house. I wear the pants. But anywho, if you can't walk the walk right now, there's no guarantee that you're going to do it in the future, you see? So there's no way, if you don't show me that you cannot stop going to titty bars right now, there's a guarantee you're going to be going to titty bars in the future. That's just almost a given. History shows it. Just look across the divorce rates, across history, across time, space, dimensions, and all that bull crap. It's like that. Get it? Well, it works the same way with Jesus. Jesus doesn't want a carnivore coming into his house and chomping on the stupid little lambs that are sitting with the lions. Because in the kingdom of heaven, everyone's a vegetarian. Carnivorous and eating of flesh comes from Satan. Yes, Satan, from Cain and Abel. Because Cain killed Abel and ate him. That's what is some other writings. They didn't put that in the Bible because they're hiding all this stuff for you. It's the 666 books. Oops. The 66 books of the Bible are 66 on purpose. They're telling you that it's not from somebody good. You just add another 6, and guess what? You got 66 books. It's all symbolism. There's a reason there's 66 books in the Bible, because it's telling you there's something that doesn't smell quite right. And that's why, because they're hiding the truth right under your nose, and you don't care. You don't care. You're just like, okay, whatever. Well, guess what? Just don't care. But you ain't going to see Jesus in the kingdom of heaven. You won't. Because if you can't walk the walk now, forget about it. Forget about it. So, goodbye.